Right now, Pasco County Sheriff's Office investigators are searching the property near Nottingham Trail and Robin Hood Road in Hudson. That's where they found the remains and are now going through the area looking for more evidence to find out exactly what happened.
Miranda, the sheriff tells us that they found these remains sometime last night at a home behind me on Nottingham Trail. The man who lives there has been charged with first-degree murder. Investigators believe that he killed a family of 4 on the property, but they cannot say for sure until the medical examiner confirms the identity of those remains. Now, the sheriff says that Philip Zilliott, his wife Rain Mancini, and their 2 children, 5-year-old Philip III and 6-year-old Karma Zilliott, were at Rory Atwood's home Wednesday night when an argument started. On Thursday, deputies say they got a tip that Atwood was telling people he killed someone. On Friday, they made contact with Zilliott and Mancini's family, who said they hadn't heard from them. Yesterday evening, they went to Atwood's home to search for the family, and a canine later found the remains.
A man from Pasco has been formally charged with murder following the mysterious disappearance of a family of 4 last week. He has confessed to authorities that he killed the parents and incinerated their bodies along with those of their 2 young children, according to court records. Rain Mancini, 26, Philip Zilliott II, 25. Their 6-year-old daughter, Karma Zilliott, and 5-year-old son, Philip Zilliott III, had been missing since last week. They were living with 25-year-old Rory Atwood on a 10-acre property along Nottingham Trail in Hudson, the newly released court documents reveal. According to the arrest affidavit, Atwood has confirmed to deputies that he was responsible for the deaths and the subsequent burning of the bodies after a violent confrontation erupted at their residence. The investigation was set in motion last Thursday when the sister of one of Atwood's friends alerted law enforcement about the killings, as stated in the records. This friend disclosed that Atwood had contacted him for help with disposing of trash. When he answered the video call, he witnessed a scene of blood and lifeless bodies, as detailed in the affidavit. During a wellness check, deputies initially found no signs of trouble, although one noticed a fire that was still burning. The next day, another call from Atwood's high school friend prompted deputies to return to the scene. This friend reported that Atwood had admitted to murdering his roommates and their children. By Friday afternoon, deputies, accompanied by a cadaver dog, searched Atwood's property. The dog unearthed small skeletal remains from the fire pit. Forensic teams also discovered human vertebrae showing signs of thermal damage, according to the affidavit. Atwood gave varying accounts of the events during interviews with detectives. Initially, he suggested that bones on his property could be from horses and inquired about the decomposition rate of human flesh. He claimed he had evicted the family on June 1st due to unpaid rent and that they had returned unannounced on Wednesday night to retrieve their belongings. During further searches, deputies found the family's possessions, which Atwood explained were left behind due to a lack of time. He alleged that Mancini planned to move to a women's shelter with the children, while Zilliott intended to stay in a nearby park. Witnesses from that night reported seeing Mancini and Zilliott drinking with Atwood at the house, along with their children and Atwood's 4-year-old daughter and a friend of Mancini. Atwood's daughter recounted seeing Mancini involved in a heated argument at her father's home. The child's mother mentioned receiving an early morning call from Atwood about a confrontation. At 6 a.m. on Thursday, Atwood dropped off his daughter at her mother's home in a blue BMW, behaving unusually, according to the child's mother. In a later interview, Atwood claimed that Zilliott and Mancini entered his bedroom armed with knives, leading to a struggle during which he disarmed Zilliott, who allegedly punched him. Atwood said he saw Mancini threatening his daughter with a knife, and during the ensuing fight, he ended up shooting Zilliott in the head and Mancini multiple times. Atwood did not provide details on how the children died, but implied that Zilliott and Mancini were responsible for their deaths. In a state of adrenaline, Atwood confessed to dragging the adult bodies outside and into the fire pit, where he said a fire was already burning. To eliminate evidence, Atwood threw the gun into the fire pit and burned his couch, which had bloodstains, he told detectives. However, deputies noted that Atwood's body showed no signs of injury consistent with his account of a physical altercation. Investigators suspect Atwood of being responsible for the adult deaths, with the investigation ongoing to determine if he also killed the children. The affidavit stated that Atwood destroyed evidence by burning the bodies and repeatedly lying to authorities. He admitted that the children's remains were also burned in the same fire pit. Atwood's criminal history includes a charge of fleeing and eluding law enforcement at 17, allegations of stalking by his girlfriend's parents that were dismissed, and a probation sentence for battery after an assault at a Hudson Circle K in 2019. Currently, Atwood faces a first-degree murder charge connected to the case of the missing family. He pleaded not guilty during his initial court appearance and is being held without bail at the Land O'Lakes jail. The Pasco County Sheriff's Office is still awaiting the medical examiner's confirmation on the remains found in the fire pit. They have asked anyone with information about the incident to contact them at 727-847-8102, option 7, or submit tips at pascosheriff.com tips.